Alan Bergman, the Oscar-Grammy and Emmy-winning songwriter whose lyric writing partnership with his wife Marilyn lasted more than 6 decades and produced such hits as The Windmills of Your Mind, The Way We Were, and In the Heat of the Night, died Thursday night at his home in Los Angeles. He was 99. Marilyn Bergman, who died in January 2022, was the first woman president and chairman of the board of the American Society of Composers, Authors and Publishers, ASCAP, a leading performing rights society for music makers. Alan soldiered on even after her death, continuing to put words to music. The Bergmans, who penned hundreds of songs, mostly for movies and TV, bridged the traditional Great American Songbook era of Rodgers and Hart, Cole Porter and Irving Berlin with the more modern pop sensibility of the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Their poetic touch, combined with the melodic gifts of so many of their collaborators, elevated the films on which they worked and made them first-call songwriters for A-list directors like Sidney Pollack, Norman Jewison, and Richard Brooks. Windmills is a modern classic, round, like a circle in spiral, like a wheel within a wheel, never ending or beginning on an ever-spinning reel, as is Way We Were. Memories light the corners of my mind, misty watercolor memories, while the soulful words of Heat of the Night astonished singer Ray Charles when he learned the married couple who wrote them was white. The Bergmans' catalog, even apart from their many awards, constitutes a large portion of the truly great movie songs of the last half of the 20th century. Collaborating with such top composers as Michel Legrand, Marvin Hamlisch, John Williams, Johnny Mandel, Dave Grusin, Quincy Jones, Henry Mancini, David Shire, and James Newton Howard, they built a stellar reputation for clever, insightful wordplay. The Bergmans won 3 Academy Awards for Windmills in 1968 with French composer Legrand from The Thomas Crown Affair for the title song of The Way We Were in 1973 with Hamlisch, and the song score for Barbra Streisand's Yentl in 1983, again with Legrand. They were nominated for 13 more Oscars, 5 of them with their close friend Legrand, including What Are You Doing the Rest of Your Life? From 1969's The Happy Ending, the title song from 1970's Pieces of Dreams, How Do You Keep the Music Playing? From 1982's Best Friends, and 2 songs from Yentl, Papa Can You Hear Me? And The Way He Makes Me Feel. 2 more were with Hamlisch for songs in 1978's Same Time, Next Year, and 1980's Shirley Valentine. 2 with Williams for songs in 1982's Yes, Giorgio, and 1995's Sabrina, and individual songs with Mancini for 1971's Sometimes a Great Notion, Maurice Jarre for 1972's The Life and Times of Judge Roy Bean, Shire, 1979's The Promise, and Grusin 1982's Tootsie. 4 of their 11 Grammy nominations were for Song of the Year, and they won for Streisand's recording of The Way We Were, also winning for Best Soundtrack Album. Their other Song of the Year nods were for Nice and Easy, a hit for Frank Sinatra in 1960, The Summer Knows, a Streisand song from 1971, and You Don't Bring Me Flowers, a 1978 duet by Streisand and Neil Diamond. Their TV themes included Maud and Good Times, written with Grusin, Alice with Shire, and Brooklyn Bridge with Hamlisch. They won Emmys for the score of the 1975 TV musical Queen of the Stardust Ballroom, with Billy Goldenberg, a song for Sybil with Leonard Rosenman, Ordinary Miracles for Barbra Streisand's 1995 HBO special, and Ticket to Dream for the 1998 AFI 100 Years, 100 Movies special, both with Hamlisch. Queen of the Stardust Ballroom was adapted for Broadway in 1978 as Ballroom and earned a Tony nomination as Best Musical. They later collaborated with Cy Coleman on the stage musical Portraits in Jazz, a gallery of songs, which led to another show, Like Jazz, that played LA's Mark Taper Forum in 2003. Alan Bergman was born September 11, 1925. Marilyn Keith was, coincidentally, born 3 years later in the same Brooklyn hospital, but they didn't meet until the late 1950s in California, when both were collaborating with songwriter Lou Spence.